Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to look at the sixth game in the World Chess Championship 2024. In this championship, two incredible chess minds, world's youngest challenger Gukesh and the current world champion Ding Liren are playing each other. Today, will Gugesh's aggressive style catch Ding off guard, or will champion's deep understanding prevail? Let's see. Let's dive into action and see how this battle unfolds on 64 squares. Enters into the playing arena first, and he is playing with black pieces today, and then Ding Liren enters. He has white pieces. Both of them are adjusting their pieces, and the game begins with shake of hands. Ding opens with d4 and Gukesh responds with knight f6. Here Ding plays bishop f4, the London system on the board. Nowadays London system is becoming popular at top level. Here main line of the London system follows by d5, e3, e6, knight f3, c5 and c3. Now Gukesh plays bishop d6, preparing to castle and aiming to follow up with queen c7 and knight b d7. Ding responds with bishop b5, delivering a check. Knight b d7 isn't an option for Gukesh here, as it would leave the bishop undefended. Therefore Gukesh plays knight c6, blocking and keeping his pieces protected. Here Ding captures the knight with his bishop. This is an interesting decision, as typically you wouldn't trade a bishop for a knight without being provoked. Ding must have a specific plan in his mind, perhaps aiming to disrupt black's pawn structure. Gukesh captures the bishop with the pawn, which opens the b file for him. Ding then swiftly captures bishop on d6. Gukesh recaptures with queen. Ding plays queen to a4, aiming to pin the c5 pawn, moving queen to a3. Gukesh calmly castles here. King follows his plan and make queen to a3. Gukesh responds confidently with knight e4. Not only defending the c5 pawn but also centralizing his knight. Then Ding plays knight of d2 and Gukesh immediately counters with e6, which reinforces his central structure and preparing to open the position if necessary. Now knight takes knight and pawn takes knight. Ding then grabs c5 pawn by queen. Gukesh responds with a sharp move queen g6, targeting the g2 pawn and putting immediate pressure on Ding's king side. At this point, Ding plays knight d2, preparing to castle on queen side. Now Gukesh can capture the g2 pawn, and yes, he captures the g2 pawn. Ding castles, bringing his king to safety. Gukesh immediately captures the another pawn. Here Ding captures e5 pawn and simultaneously defend the e3 pawn by his queen. This move also brings material back to even. Here Gukesh plays rook b8, eyeing on the b2. Now the knight cannot capture this pawn because it will lead to a checkmate by queen. Therefore Ding plays knight c4, which defends the b2 pawn and mating attack. Now Gukesh is out of his preparation and takes some time to evaluate his position, and then he plays bishop e6. In response, Ding plays rook d2, attacking the Gukesh's queen, and Gukesh plays queen f3. Ding continues his play with rook e1. Gukesh captures knight on c4 and Ding immediately recaptures with queen. In this position, rook b d8 is the best move according to the engine. However, Gukesh chose more logical and human move queen f5, which attacks the e5 pawn at the same time defend his e4 pawn. Then after a long think of over 40 minutes, Ding decides to capture c6 pawn and Gukesh immediately captures e5 pawn. Now Ding moves queen to d5. A critical move is essential for Gukesh not to trade queens here, as such an exchange would make it easier for Ding to push this c3 pawn, and which is a dangerous pass pawn. Therefore, Gukesh plays queen e7 wisely, avoiding the queen trade and maintaining the tension on the board. And Ding plays queen d6, once again offering a queen trade. However, Gukesh declines the trade and he responds with queen g5. King's queen returns to d5, again offering the queen trade, but Gugesh responds with queen e7, keeping the queens on the board. Now Ding repeats queen d6, and Gugesh also repeats with queen g5. At this point, Ding plays queen d5 again. Now Gugesh can draw the game by queen e7. Can we see a draw over here by 3-4 repetition? No, Gugesh plays queen h4. A brave decision by Gugesh. Even though queen h4 is an inaccurate move according to ancient, it reflects Gugesh's fighting spirit and desires to keep game alive. By his queen to h4 move, Gugesh is aiming to attack the rook and defending his e4 pawn. He knows that his position is slightly worse, but he wants to continue the game and fight it on the board. Ding is clearly surprised by queen h4. It catches him off guard, and this unexpected shift in dynamics forces him to think deeply about his next move. Then Ding played rook a d1, which develops his rooks and also strengthens his control on d file. Here Gugesh played g6 to avoid backrank issue. Now Ding played queen e5 and Gugesh plays rook b e8, attacking Ding's queen and forcing it to move. Where does the queen move? Ding moves queen to g3. Yes, it is a logical move. Now if you exchange the queens, Ding's passed pawn on c file become a major threat and it would be hard for Gugesh to stop it. Meanwhile, Gugesh's kingside pawns would be somewhat blocked by these pawns. Therefore, Gugesh played queen h5. Now Ding responds with queen f4. Meanwhile, Gugesh plays queen to a5, attacking the a2 pawn. In response, Ding plays a3 and Gugesh plays queen b5. Black queen is looking at both the b file and this diagonal for potential attacking opportunities. Now Ding plays rook d4, attacking the e4 pawn and increasing pressure on Gugesh's position. And Gugesh does not want to play f5, which weakens the king. Here Gugesh plays queen e2. Now you cannot capture this pawn because you will lose the h2 pawn. At this point, Ding plays rook d2, which attacks the queen, and queen goes back to f3. If Ding finds queen g3 here, it will be a strong move, improving his queen's activity and preparing to push this c3 pawn. Will significantly improve his position as the c4 pawn will be a dangerous passed pawn and that Gugesh would struggle to stop and Gugesh would have little counterplay left. He would be forced to defend. However, Gugesh's queen f3 move remains an interesting move as it keeps tension in the position. Instead of playing queen g3, Ding plays king c2. It is a critical mistake and this move loses his advantage. Now Gugesh, capitalizing on this mistake, begins to improve his position by connected four pawns and protected pass pawn also. And now Ding follows h4 and game follows like this. Few moves like this and the game ended in a draw by repetition. Ding had his chance but he lost that chance by moving critical move king c2 and Gugesh maintained the draw. After 6 games the points are even now 3 3 each for both of them. One point to note here, you cannot go to king h6 because it will lead to checkmate like this if you move here, and it will lead to checkmate. Guggett's brave decision to play queen h4 on 26th move was a critical moment in the game as it boldly rejected a queen exchange and kept the pressure on Ding, maintaining the attacking chances and creating tension despite the complexity of the position. I hope you enjoyed this recap and see you on with next game.